What is up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, just like I said before, you guys are probably still wondering where Commander, what is it? That's right, Commander. Part 2 of Part 2 is. I want to go ahead and address that issue and get that out of the way. That's not being worked on right now. That is probably going to come next year. I know that I'm sorry for the delay, but that's probably going to come next year sometime. Um, we have a lot of other stuff to work on as well. We have the Warhammer 40,000 mod coming to Gates of Hell, like I've been telling you guys this would come for a long time, and it's coming to Gates of Hell. That's right, it's coming to Card of Arms, Gates of Hell. And that's why I haven't released any more images or any more videos about the Hell mission of Warhammer 40,000 Commander 4, Isaac Commander. That will all be done in the Gates Hell engine with the Space Marines, and the enemies that are being there will be done as well. The only thing I'm waiting on now is the full the full comment of it. Now, some interesting news of the Space Marine is it's very interesting to see. So a lot of people, when they play this game, they want to know if they can play all the missions on the game itself. And the most interesting thing about this is that as we go into this time of timeline with everything going to shut down. Um, I'm just gonna pray for the best and give it to God, pretty much. And we're gonna, hopefully everything goes okay and everything goes all right. And I'm hoping it does. Really, I am. And so I'm just hoping everything goes okay, pretty much. And if it does, we're gonna go ahead and continue the missions with the Commander 4 mission, going to Gates of Hell, being redone, remastered completely. And then I have another one that I want to show you guys is the Halo mod. Now I've been working on the Halo mod for quite a long time, and the production to this has been completely as versatile than anything that we've seen before. And that's because a lot of different things have been going on with the Halo mod, as far as that goes. As we talk about the Halo, and now a lot of people was wondering what's going on with the actual Halo mod of it, and that's very interesting as we go back, and we actually go back and we know about the interesting things that are different or very, very agile. And as we go into the Halo universe, we put on everything as far as that goes. And the most important part about it is a lot of people they didn't know what was really going on. They didn't know what was happening. And so Jenna Hawkins is something that's in the works right now, actually, and it's being done very briefly. And it's being done right, and it's very interesting to see how we're going to look at now. I have the incredibility of actually making so many things and Easter eggs into the game of TID. Now, Jenna Hawkins is being done as we speak right now by me. It's going to tell the story about Jenna Hawkins, where he came from, where he didn't come from. We've got voice lines. We've got all kinds of different type of things that are being done in the works of Jenna Hawkins, and the game is called Jenna Hawkins. That's the mod that's being created with some other stuff that's being done as well. Now, as I speak, as I say, the interesting thing about this is that everything is being done and being worked on, right? So we go in as a top number one type of deal, and I'm working on a lot of different things to try to push out what I can this year. I know this is a hard year for everybody, and I can understand that. It's a hard year for me as well. But I'm still trying to push you guys out what I can. And I pray by a miracle everything goes okay. I really, really do. And so, anyways, I thank God for everything. I just want to say that, and I thank God for everything. Because if it wasn't for Him, there's no way I'd be able to do the stuff I can do. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to be seeing for General Hawkins in the game, with the release date, the time, and the year it's supposed to be coming out, and where it takes place. Okay, so if you guys don't know what happened, is in the area of we go into the area of Flood. There's a lot of different things that happen here. So, no, nothing's there. What's I'm trying to find my as I had before a long time ago. Here we go. Flood one. Okay, so this is the best way to talk about this, and the best way to say this. So this is the Flood planet, but this is the Flood planet Water was supposedly killed on. Well, on this planet, it was completely different. The Flood planet was created by, wasn't just a flood planet, like as all flood planets, they don't start as flood planets, they start as something beautiful, and then the flood takes it over and it becomes something fairly bad or horrible. So the interesting thing about this is the year that this actually started, as you'll see down here, the year. I don't have anything for the year. I guess I didn't address that. So the year of this is 2522, and General Hawkins is 2556. So 2556, General Hawkins went into the other flood planet that looked like this one. Just different. There was so much more on that flood planet than what meets the eye. We're really going to be looking into something that really has a hard toll. But what if I told you that another Halo game is also in the works? Now, I know a lot of this kind of comes on and is completely different as we approach this type of era. There is so much that meets the eye that is extremely extraordinary. And the more we build on this, the more interesting things we get. The interesting thing about this is that it pushes everything in one direction. So, who is General Hawkins? That's something that we need to. Pretty much told you guys a story a long time ago about General Hawkins. So, who is General Hawkins? General Hawkins is a general. He was a general that was led in the army. General Green actually recruited General Hawkins back in the late time to do a mission, and he was sent on this mission by General Green to extract a flood vessel. He was told to extract a flood thing, pretty much flood blood. What they wanted to do is they wanted to see what it was made out of, and if they could use it for a weaponry or a super soldier. But as General Hawkins was on this, area, he started experiencing voices, and the voices was telling him to kill his soldiers because he had been infected by a super flood that had been killed, but not really killed. Only left was like the spirit there on the flood planet. And voices had echoed all over as he was on this planet. But they were telling him that, just awful things that wasn't true. He became paranoid and he injected himself when he got back to the lab after they left. Got back to the lab of the Oni UNSC station, research station, and injected himself with the flood virus because they told him to do it and it would make him a super soldier. Well, it made him a super soldier, but not the super soldier after agonizing pain and ripped terse, ripped body parts, and just all kinds of bad things. Well, General Hawkins went back after he killed everybody because they didn't know what was going on. General Green ordered a strike. The strike didn't go so well. It actually elaborated everything to be done completely differently. And what this did is it destroyed everything except General Hawkins, which was now the super flood. And the super flood created millions and millions and millions. The General Hawkins created millions and millions of other flood, creating the once was a safe base or a safe place of the Oni UNSC was completely turned over by flood. It would swarm to everything, creating everything into these huge flood, and then others, then small flood, and then built of army flood. And what this did is it consumed the ships as well, turning the ships into flood ships. And it just completely annihilated everything in its path, turning the entire planet. Once was the interesting thing about it is what once was a beautiful planet is now a flood planet. So once it got back to Earth, it not Earth but another planet called Oni UNSC planet was now turned to a flood planet. And now you have to kill General Hawkins, which is now the super flood, which is not going to be easy. So it's going to be about 10 missions long. You've got echoes everywhere, just different things that you wouldn't see in a normal game. And it's going to be very exciting because these echoes, they retrain to everything. And it's going to be messages that you can play of Easter eggs that you'll be able to find, you'll be able to use. It just really depends on everything that's going on, really. And it plays out like that, like a lot like that actually. And it just becomes very very different to everything that's there, and it builds that connection even stronger and more multi vile to be better and faster and just really really up there. So as you can see, there is Isaac Commander there, and then he's got his whole troop ready. But the flood come from right here, and then you just kind of go forwards in. Now, there is talk about the Arbiter, or the elite that was sent in this mission. Um, and that's because there was an elite. There is an elite, but it's not gonna be on the Oni UNSC planet. The only people there is Master Chief Isaac Commander and a couple Marines. And that's really it. So it's really like a side story, if you want to say. It's not like got a lot of cutscenes in it, but it's got something that's gonna, really ring a bell on 10 missions long. and it's not really like the biggest story in the world because I've worked on other stories that are more than 10 missions. I've got ones that are 24, 30, 34. You guys know, you guys have played them over back on old Call to Arms vanilla. So you guys know exactly what's going on when it comes to that type of thing. Which is pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie. So, what is the things that are being done correctly? When does this game come out? I'm shooting for December. I'm shooting for General Hawkins to come out in December with a 10 mission long game with some really cool things and some really deck style things. That's going to be really, really cool to do. Okay, so the first thing I want to this video. This is Warda and the Elites. So let's go ahead and now we've got that out of the way. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about I'm gonna check and see what we've got. Is anything brand new or anything new to the Call to Arms yet? Oh, we got spoilers. Okay. Cool. This is Gates of Hell. It's very cool. Anything that's been uploaded yet? None yet. Nothing yet. That's because thing new over here. Alright, so there's one thing I want to talk to you guys about, and that is how to, a lot of people, I know this question pretty much gets asked a lot, and that is, how do you put voices on your characters in Gates of Hell or Call to Arms? Okay, so to do that, what you want to do is record your voice under a WAV file. Now, Bandicam has a WAV file, but it's not an actual real WAV file. To get this to work, everything must be a WAV file, or conditionally as 4 players. Now this is, so I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. So we're going to new. Now I'm gonna name this. I'll just do 789 or 780. In 780, we want to have a lot of different things. Now you don't have to have anything. For example, I'll just use a tag for example, and we'll place a tag in here. But we gotta do, the first thing we gotta do is V. New folder V1, and then after V1, put a tag into V1. I already sure it has V1. Okay, hold on a minute. Don't really need that. I'll just leave that, my bad, hold on. But essentially what you would do is you'd create this, create the folder called attack. It's ATTACK. And then in attack would be V1. So you go to new V1. Just like that. Now, inside of V1 is going to be all of your stuff. So mine is this one I downloaded. Okay. So we'll take all those V1 and we'll paste them. Okay. Now, from here, you're going to need a talk. You can get talk into the Call to Arms. You can go to Men of War. You can do anything you want to do. But you're going to need a talk text. So inside of here, you want to create a mod. Now I'm going to open up a mod that I have. I'm just going to copy everything as you can see. We're going to go into Gates, Mods, Halo. And I'm just going to copy my first mod. Go to New, create the name of the folder that you want. So mine, I'll just create a bunch of numbers, or I'll create Halo 10. Go into Halo 10, paste your mod file. Now the next thing you're going to need is resources. Go into resources, go into rename, hit Control C. Go into Halo 10, file, new, resources, enter. Go back into mod. This is called Halo 10. File, save. Exit out. You're done. Back in resources, the next thing you're going to need is set file. And to set, you're going to need talk. You don't want to create a file named talk. You're just going to need an actual file from either Call to Arms or Minnesota Squad 2. The next thing you're going to need is a sound file. SOUND. In sound, you want to create something called human. Now, I already have a file. I'm going to show you guys where I have it at in the Call to Arms universe. So, mods, Halo Flood, resources, sound, human. File, rename, control, sound, new, folder, human. Okay, back in human, you want to create something called talk. New, not new, my bad. Rename, control C. Into human, a new folder, talk. Inside of talk is going to be everything I told you about. This is where we're going to have, this is where we're going to put our other stuff. Our 78 goes in here. Just like so. Now, the other thing you want to do is you want to, like I told you guys before, you want to go ahead and have something that is called talk. We're just go ahead and go into set, and it's a talk set. You can get this talk in Call to Arms mods. You can find it in mods and that one, or you can go to Men of War PlanetSide 2. There you can get talk anywhere pretty much. All you gotta do is type in talk and it'll come up. If I search here, I'm sure it'll come up. As you can see, it's right here. Ultimate Voice Package Collection, WW2 Game Edition. This is Gamers Voices. So you can get it pretty much anywhere here. But it's right here. You can get this one if you want it. But it's right here. Or you can go on the Men of War page and type in talk that way, and you can get it that way. So we're going to go ahead and see, copy, go back into our mod that we need, set, and paste. Inside of here, we want to change a couple things. Want to hit yes just once. You don't want to mess with any of this. You want to go down to here where it says HGA. You want to change one of these to what you have now. When you're doing this, you want to be really careful. So I don't really know where I went. Oh yeah, instead you want to create something called breed. Okay, just like that. And now we go back out of here, back into here. Let's go back to sound, to human, talk. 780 is what we have. So we're going to change IZK to 780. And file and save. Now, here's the tricky part. You're probably thinking, well, I've got my talk in there. What do I do now? What do you mean by breed? So in breed, there's two things you want to know about. One, you want to have a human skin. Now, you want to make sure this human skin is completely different from anything that you have before. You don't want to have it copied. You don't want to have it not copied, but you do want to do this. So to download, you can use your Gates of Hell regular human skin completely fine, and it'll work perfectly fine. It'll work with the exact same thing that will be there as well. Um, so that works as well. But we're just going to go ahead and use something pretty generic. So we go back into here, going back all the way. Yeah, it's in there. My bad. So, going to here, going back into your mods file. I'm gonna do this one, this one. Oh yeah, you want to create something called entity. I completely forgot. So, no, I don't want to paste. I know I just pasted that in there. So, create entity, rename, Control C, back into your file that you have, that you just created. When I just create, I don't want mods. Oh, it's not in here. Okay, hold on. There it is, Halo Tinsel. Put that up there. Halo 10 in here. So we're gonna go back into our Halo mods, resources, create this one for entity, rename, Control C, go back into the one that you previously had, so 780. Mods, whoops, got Gates of Hell, mods, Halo 10, resources, down here, new folder, entity, and then we'll go back into here in entity, and then you'll create a new folder called human skins. So hit new and then do human skin. In human skin, you want to go ahead and look for the human skins that you want that you're gonna need. So before you can actually do this, you need something that's gonna create follow along exactly what I do on the other that I show you. Okay, follow along exactly. This is how you do this. So back into here, back into here. I'm gonna click this one because it's where everything is. Set breed follow along. So we're gonna go to new folder 78. You can name it whatever you want. The next one is Halo, and then Halo again. But for this one, I'm going to do 67. If I want to do numbers, let's do numbers usually. Doesn't really matter to me then. And then believe after 67. So in peace, Halo, Halo, and then Halo 9, and then boom. So I'm going to copy all this. Control C, Halo, 78, 69. Halo, Halo 9, boom. So we're into 3 Halos. 2, and then one more. I'll call this one TY. And then TY, we're going to have everything we need. So this would be, so it's 1, 2, 3, just like this. Breed. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should have one more here. I don't know why I did that double. It's I did for some reason. So this one is MP. So this is 1 and then 2. Should be 1 and then 2. Alright, now we'll delete this one, and we'll delete this one. I'm going to keep this. Now, you want to make sure you have everything in this ability you can find in the mod that you're using, or you can find the mod. So I'm using a different type of mod, so I'm going to be using this one. And so I need to make sure you need to have skills, health, and ability. You can find that in in breed. Yeah, you can find it in breed. You'll find ability, health, and skills. Sometimes it's just ability, sometimes it's just health, and sometimes it's generics. For example, you can go into Gates of Hell, resources. But I'm using a different mod, so that's why it's gonna work for me. But if you're using just say Gates of Hell regular, you would go into Game Logic, set, breed, scroll down to set breed, and then you would select one, and you go down. You would click ability, and you scroll up. Well, this one has to have ability and something else, so it'd be ability. Yeah, it'd just be ability, I guess. It's just be ability, but it really depends on what you're using for. So, his MP is just ability, or is there something else? I've never really looked at these, to be honest. And this one doesn't have one, or does it? I'm not sure. Okay, you would still need where is it at? Is it no? It's not MP. Oh, ability right here. And then you would have to have this one, this one, this one, this one, all these, and you just paste them and breed. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm using a different mod, so I've obviously found everything in a different mod I'm using, doing the same thing, and I put them in there. But yeah, but you'll need that. You need to find that in there. So if you download, for example, a good mod you can download is uh, the Warhammer 40,000 mod right now that's on Gates of Hell. Download that one, go into breed, and copy everything in breed like I told you, and then paste it into your mod that you're going to be using, because it just depends on what type of human skin you're going to be using for that to work. Hold on a minute. Okay, well, whatever that was. Um, but yeah, that's what you need to do. Like I said, if you're gonna do like a World War II skin, maybe you can use that one and throw them in there, and that should work. It just really depends on what you're gonna do. Um, but uh, but yeah, other than that, you don't really need all that. Anyways, so we're just get back to the task at hand. So now you have that done. I'm gonna use my name, my character that I created. I'm gonna copy, and we're gonna paste him, and then I'm gonna rename him, and my name says 89, and I'll go to 89, rename this one to 89 as well, so it can show up right down here. Rename this one to 89 as well. No, not 69, 89. Thank you. Go by DEF file. Rename this one to 89 as well, file, and then save. And then you're good. Now the tricky part. The one that is, actually, yeah, hold on a minute, let's go back to NT. We're going to do our copy that we have here, so we'll find it should be at the bottom. Oh, it's at the top, how interesting. Yeah, so we'll take Area 9 file, put him out here, close that, open the one that we were supposed to precise for entity, and that Halo Flood on the mod, Halo Flood need to be on this one. Did I name this Halo Flood? No, I did not. Name it Halo 10. Resources, entity, human skin. Take the file, 89, put it in here. This one now this is now 89, so we need to right click, rename, Control C. Go back. Actually, go back one. Go to set, go to breed, file, MP, enter, enter here, new folder, A9, and then here's where everything should be selected. Into here, back into Halo Flood, resources. I don't know what happened, how I got so out of it. Control C, paste. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, so we're gonna rename this one to 89 or yeah, 67, I believe it was. No, 67. Go back into file, set name, open Notepad. You need to have Notepad downloaded, or it should actually be automatically there for you. All right, now in here you want to change the skin to what you have as human skin that you have already. So mine was, what was mine? It wasn't 67, it was 89, I believe. Of course. Close all the tabs. Yeah. Yep. So close all tabs. We're gonna go back. I forgot what it was by accident. So here, Halo 10, resources, entity, human skin, 89. Okay. So it was 89. No, not the one I need to have. There it is. Okay. So, that's human skin. I need to be out of there. 89 and then 67. I already had this one open once here. So this one's 89. I'm pretty sure that's right, yeah. Okay, now this is 89. Patriot is fine. So you don't gotta mess with any of this. But you want to have something like this done, and you can find this in a custom. You can just copy this at the bottom. You can go in to get the voice. What you want to do is you want to copy. Go to make sure you have Minnesota Score 2 downloaded, and you want to download Crossroads, and download that mod. Once you have it downloaded, you'll go in. I've downloaded off some different one, but once you download it, you'll be in here. It'll be Halo Effect Crossroads. Just download Halo Effect. And here, you want to go ahead and oh yeah, you want to make sure another thing you want to have WinRAR downloaded too. Resources down here was entity, not entity, but set. No, set. And then here you want to go ahead and have this is where I found everything pretty much. And talk, you don't want to mess with talk, but you want to go to breed, MP, Mass Effect, Reaper. I'm actually going to use UNSC. That's what I found out. It has a lot of them, trust me. MP. I'm gonna use what I use. I think I use Well, either one of these works. So open up set here. And as you can see, you just want to copy all of this. You hit copy. And then once you're done, you'll go to here and then you'll select all this and you'll hit Control C, Control V, and you'll paste everything. So yeah. Alright, I have actually forgotten, but yeah, download that mod, do that, and that'll work. And then also I'll show you one more thing before we're done. So the next thing you want to do is change the voice, not instead of Isaac, until and you want to change this into the one that you previously have. That you created in sound. So in sound, human, talk, MG, SGK, that's Halo Flood. Of course, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I keep stopping the flood. This one we need, yeah, 67 talk. Go down to here, go down to here, go down to sound, human, talk. 780 is what we're supposed to have. So in 780 should be attack v1 and then everything you put in here. And make sure this is a WAV file. As you can see, go to properties. Properties, and as you can see, it is a WAV file. If it says MP3 or MP4, it will not work. So make sure you have a WAV file, and we need to copy another one of these really quick. And that's the one thing you want to do is when you're doing this, you want to make sure you get it right. Otherwise, if you don't get it right, then it won't work right. 80, and then there we go. That looks good. Now file, that's already been saved. Now you're good. Alright, so it was 780. So we're going to go back to talk, sound, resources, set, talk. And down here, there it is. Oh, we already have it, 780. So you're good. So all you could do is load up the mod, back to here, go into Cause It's Hell, hit OK. And now you can do this with any character you want. It doesn't matter if it's a Marine. You can do this. You can change the voice in a custom. All you gotta do is change the human skin, and it'll work. Because this is how I do. This is how I learned this literally yesterday, and I was like, "Wait, how does he do this? And does this actually work?" And I was scared at first. And, I mean, as you can see, I'm using the Warhammer 40,000 mod. Alright, so as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a crap ton in this mod. But we're here to show you the mod I created. ER. The mod should be down here. Halo 10. Activate it. Hit apply. Hit yes. Now, if you don't have a lot of space or your graphics is bad, then update to a better laptop or computer. I recommend that. As long as you don't have any crashes here and you've done everything correctly, everything should work perfectly fine. Okay, now we go to here. Okay, go to human. 78, 67, 78, 67. Commander Isaac. Or, yeah, Commander Isaac. it didn't change it. That's very strange, unless I'm... Ah, I've got 2 of them. One of them is gonna work. If they don't work, that means it's not an actual wave file. But they are usually supposed to be in there. I can show you ones that I know that I've got in there personally. I did myself. I'll show you a little teaser of what I've got in there. Here's my guy. This is, now if you hear anything, it's probably going to be my voice, so I'll be quiet for that. Okay. There you go. That's the voice that I actually added in there. I downloaded it and put it in there myself. As you can see, these guys should be saying something by now. Let's go ahead and see what's really going on. So it's in there. I think it's doing an overlap on something different because of it before. We have like Isaac Commander, and then something different now. There's a flood guy. Here's my guy. Like I said, I think that's why it's not working. Is because I have 2 of the same thing. I have Isaac Commander and then another Isaac Commander and then I have 3 Isaac Commanders of the exact same thing. So I think that's why it's not really wanting to work. But this one does, as you can see. But I'm not lying to you guys. This usually works because if the Master Chief MT Master Chief here. I did the whole thing myself.
Lucky me.
As you can see, the Master Chief works. This mod is a work in progress, just so you know. They are supposed to be in there for custom voices, but I think it's because the reason it's not working, like specifically not working, is because it doesn't function correctly or something like that. Usually, we're like, I'll show you what I mean. So if I'll go to mods, we'll disable Hello 10. I think it's because it's mimicking everything, and I think that's why it's not working properly. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. Because I've got 3 Isaac Commanders with no voice line, right? Well, I've got one that has a voice line. line and we'll show up in my voice line. So we'll go back to here, back to me. This is, if you hear my voice, it's my actual voice. Or does it take a minute, I guess? I don't know. But I had my voice in there yesterday and it sounded terrible. Like it sounded really, really bad. This is my voice is supposed to say something. Because I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. The Master Chief, I got the voices all in there and they work fine. And then I did the Flood and they work fine. So I've got all those in there as far as that goes. But when it comes to me, for some reason, it seemed to work for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe I changed it a little bit, or I had too many in there. I think it's a clone. I think that's why. I think it's just the clone of it. So we'll go back in, back over, back to here. Breed 78. Yeah, I think that's just this one. Because I have Halo 9. I have me right here. So what we'll do, we'll delete this one. And then we'll go back and see if that works. So sometimes they'll get switched up where it's 2 Isaac Commanders in one, like if it sees the same skin, which is really weird. But if it sees the same skin, it won't work right. Like if it sees 2 Isaac Commanders, then the voice line won't work right. Like I don't know, it just gets like messed up somehow. And when that happens, it gets hard for the voice to actually work properly. So it just really depends on what's really going on, you know. Alright, so I've taken that. Like I said, it's probably just me personally. Human Halo. Let's see if this is anything. I'm tell him to just turn this down a little bit because it's pretty loud. I didn't say nothing there. He usually says something. He'll usually say something. I'm not sure why he's not saying nothing. I mean, it may be because of me and because I don't have it. I mean, I did download everything correctly. It was working yesterday fine. I'm not sure if I'm not sure what's really going on to be exact, but we'll keep trying. What I did there. I do have one that's there, but it'd be in TIS 5 and then the M5 if I had it. We're gonna load T3. for Commander Isaac. We'll see if the ones that we have over here work. Sometimes it just really depends on everything. If you ain't got them in there, I mean, it just really depends on what's wrong. I'm gonna be having voices for these guys too. I mean, you're gonna have more than just one, so don't worry about that. That's Warda. We're gonna have Warda's voice in there too. It'll be like Commander or Commander. It'll be different. It'll be like a robot voice in a way for Warda's voice for everything to work. I know one that works very well. It's the Master Chief one. I guess it just worked randomly, I guess. I don't know. It's very weird, but let me go ahead and not save anything. Let me shut it down and restart it. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe because it doesn't have too much. I wonder if that's the case. Because it usually works. I mean, it usually works no problem. And you guys see the Master Chief voice, you know that works. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Okay, so we'll try this again. So, go to here, go to here. Oh, it's not. Usually, you guys know it usually says something. That makes no sense. No, it's not one. Did I delete something? Maybe I think maybe I deleted something, or something didn't. No, nothing's been deleted. Hasn't been deactivated. Okay, I think it's just Steam. I'm not sure. We're going to close Steam out and see what's really going on, because now, yeah, there's an error with Steam. That's what I thought. So we're gonna open Steam back up, and we're gonna run Steam again. I ain't getting any. Sometimes updates are being in the way too, causing it not to work. But just in case, I want to go back into the file and make sure there's everything's. Yeah, see alert, tech, cries about a section 8. And here's what I have. We've got enemies! Attack! As you can see, they're pretty loud. Go on to the resources of the set file, talk set file. Sometimes this may change, it just depends. MG and Isaac, yeah, no, nothing's there, everything's good there. Breed, MP, Halo, under Isaac. So everything's good there. Another thing I want to change though, as I told you, these are not really that hard to do, and they're not. Just we're gonna change the weapon. So all we really do to change the weapon is we'll go back into here, 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 here. Set. This is breed. I need to go back into the actual file itself, which will be Halo. Resources. Set. Stuff. SNG. That one to that. And we'll change the striker to MA3. File. Save. And now we'll file. Play. I'm not sure. Like I said, I knew something was going on, but I didn't know what was going on. Because, like, I know I did it right. You guys heard it. Okay, now we'll go ahead and see if everything works fine. Not sure what happened exactly. I think it's because of a different mod or something like that. I'm not sure. We'll see though. Should be saying lucky me or something. That's so weird. That's so weird. Is that because, is that only for these only? I mean, I don't really know. Should be saying lucky me or something. It's in there. You guys heard the voice. I think I'm gonna have to restart my laptop again. I really don't want to do that. That's not in there. That means my other Halo one is not in there. Hello, what is going on here? Yeah, it's my laptop. It's my laptop. It's being a butthead. Yeah, cause not even, this is not even doing anything, see? Yep. I hate to say this, guys, but I've gotta restart my laptop. I'm so sorry.